Let me be completely honest with you right now. Most people watching this video are one unexpected expense away from financial disaster. One car repair, one medical bill, one broken appliance, and the entire house of cards comes crashing down. You already know that feeling. That sick, hollow sensation in your stomach when something breaks and you realize you have absolutely nothing saved. You open your banking app, stare at your balance, and quietly close the app again like you never opened it, like somehow not looking at it makes it less real. That moment right there is why you are watching this video today. And here is what nobody tells you about building emergency savings. It does not require you to eat rice and beans every single day. It does not require you to cancel every subscription you enjoy. It does not require some massive, dramatic lifestyle overhaul that makes you miserable for months. What it actually requires is something far simpler and far more powerful. And that is exactly what we are going to break down together today. Now, before we go any further, I want you to understand something important. There is a program linked in the description below this video. It goes much deeper than what we cover here today. Not everyone moves forward with it, and honestly, if you are the type of person who prefers to stay exactly where you are financially, that program is probably not for you. But if something inside you is tired of living on the edge every single month, keep watching. Because by the end of this video, you will understand exactly why that resource exists. Let us start with the real pain, not the surface level stuff. The deep pain. Think about the last time something went wrong financially. Maybe your car needed repairs and you had to borrow money from someone you really did not want to ask. Maybe you put a bill on a credit card and told yourself it was just this one time. But one time turned into 3 times. And now you are paying interest on stress that you are still carrying around. Or maybe nothing catastrophic happened yet, but you lie awake at night running numbers in your head. If this happens, what do I do? If that falls apart, how do I survive? You are not sleeping. You are problem-solving nightmares that have not even happened yet. That is called living in financial anxiety. And research consistently shows that financial stress is one of the leading causes of sleep disruption, relationship problems, and even physical health decline. You are not imagining how heavy this weight is. It is genuinely heavy. It is measurable. It is real. And it is costing you more than just money. Here is the brutal truth about not having emergency savings. The cost of not having it is catastrophically higher than the cost of building it. Let that land for a second. When you have zero emergency savings, a single $500 car repair can spiral into $1,000 on a credit card, with 18% interest, paid off over 6 months, meaning that $500 problem actually cost you over $620 in the end. And that is a small emergency. A medical situation, a job disruption, a major home repair, these can push people into debt cycles that take years to escape. The average American household carries over $9,000 in credit card debt. And a staggering number of those balances started with emergencies that could have been covered by savings. People did not make bad decisions because they were irresponsible. They made desperate decisions because they had no cushion to fall back on. That is the real crisis, not the emergency itself. The absence of a buffer between you and total chaos. Now here is where the story shifts. Imagine this. It is 3 months from today. You check your bank account and there is a dedicated emergency fund sitting there. Not huge, but real, tangible. Yours. And then your car throws a warning light on the dashboard. Old version of you would have felt that panic rise up in your chest. The new version of you pulls up your savings, schedules the repair, and moves on with your day without losing sleep, without borrowing money, without adding to credit card debt, without the shame spiral that comes after asking for help when you are already feeling fragile. That moment of calm in what used to be a crisis is worth more than any number on a spreadsheet. That is what financial security actually feels like. Not rich, not flashy, just stable, just safe. Just free. And here is something that completely changes the conversation about building savings. The largest financial psychology research programs in the world have consistently found that people do not fail to save because they lack discipline. They fail to save because the systems around them are designed for spending, not for saving. Every notification, every app, every one-click purchase button, it all points toward spending. Almost nothing in your daily environment automatically directs your money toward protection. The moment you understand that, you stop blaming yourself. And you start building better systems instead. So let us talk about how you actually build emergency savings faster without turning your life upside down. The first thing is deceptively simple. You separate the savings from the temptation. Most people keep their emergency fund in the same account they use every single day. That is like hiding cookies in the kitchen cabinet and expecting yourself not to eat them. Move your emergency savings into a completely separate account. Ideally one at a different bank than your primary checking account. When there is friction between you and the money, you spend it far less. Studies on behavioral finance show that even a small amount of additional friction can reduce unplanned spending from savings accounts by over 60%. The second thing is about size and psychology, not willpower. If you try to save $500 this month from a paycheck that is already stretched, your brain will fight back hard. It will find every possible justification to not do it. But if you automate $25 per week into that separate account, your brain barely registers it. And in 5 months, you have accumulated $500 without a single painful moment of decision-making. You bypass the willpower problem entirely. This is not a new concept. It is one that financial planners, behavioral economists, and wealth coaches have used with thousands of clients across all income levels. Automation removes the emotional decision from the equation, and when emotions are removed, consistency actually becomes possible. The third thing is what I call the roundup revolution. Many banks now offer automatic roundup features. Every time you spend $3.40, the app rounds that purchase up to $4 and moves 60 cents into savings. It sounds tiny. Laughably tiny, but real data from users of these systems shows that people save an average of $30 to $40 per month without ever thinking about it. Over a year, that is nearly $500. Almost entirely invisible. Invisible savings are the most powerful kind because they never hit the part of your brain that resists sacrifice. The fourth thing is something almost nobody talks about: windfall discipline, tax refunds, birthday money, work bonuses, small cash gifts, overtime pay. Most people treat these as permission slips to spend. But these windfalls are actually your fastest path to a real emergency fund. If you commit to putting even 50% of every unexpected financial gain into your emergency savings account, you will reach your target in a fraction of the time it would take through regular contributions alone. People who used this strategy reported reaching a $1,000 emergency fund in under 60 days during tax season alone. $1,000 sitting there protecting you from the most common financial emergencies most households actually face. Now, let us talk about the target itself. Because most advice you hear aims too high and too fast, which causes people to quit before they ever really begin. You do not need 3 to 6 months of expenses saved before your emergency fund starts working for you. Even $1,000 changes your entire financial risk profile dramatically. Studies show that households with just $1,000 in liquid savings are significantly less likely to fall into debt following a financial disruption than households with zero savings. $1,000 is not the finish line, but it is the first real turning point. And hitting that first turning point builds something inside you that no financial advice can teach from the outside. It builds confidence that you can actually do this, and once you feel that, saving more becomes easier. The behavior reinforces itself. The momentum carries you forward. Now, here's something I want you to really sit with for a moment. The cost of inaction is not zero. Staying where you are has a price. Every month you go without even a basic emergency fund is another month where any single unexpected event can put you hundreds or thousands of dollars further from financial stability. Every month is another cycle of anxiety, of avoidance, of that quiet dread when your phone rings and you are not sure what new problem is waiting on the other end. That cost compounds just as surely as interest does, but in the wrong direction. People who finally commit to this process consistently report the same experience. They do not feel the change while it is happening. They set up automation, they start small, they apply the windfall rule, and life goes on. And then one day they check their separate savings account and feel something they have not felt in a very long time. They feel like they have a plan, like they have something working for them instead of against them. Like the next emergency, when it comes, will not own them. That shift in how it feels to exist financially is priceless. If you want to go deeper than what we have covered today, there is a program in the description of this video that takes everything you just heard and builds a complete, structured path around it. Specific to your situation, designed to work even when your income feels too tight to do anything. It exists because the strategies alone are not always enough. Sometimes what changes everything is having a clear, guided framework that actually fits your real life. If you have already tried and struggled, that program was built for exactly that experience. Most people will scroll past it. Most people will think they will figure it out on their own eventually. And eventually never comes. If you are still watching this video right now, you already know you are not most people. You are the one who actually shows up for themselves when it counts. The program is there for you, right in the description. But only you can decide whether today is the day you stop letting emergencies decide your financial future for you, because nobody is coming to rescue you. But the right system, starting today, can make sure you never need rescuing again.